First contact. The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the viewport of the UESS Horizons, humanity's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. Captain Zara Chen stood with her hands clasped behind her back, dark eyes scanning the star-flecked void. After months of travel beyond the fringes of explored space, they had finally arrived at the source of the mysterious transmission that had captivated Earth's scientific community. "Any sign of the signal's origin, Lieutenant Ramos?" Zara asked, glancing over at her communications officer. Ramos shook his head, his brow furrowed in concentration as he studied the readings on his console. "Nothing yet, Captain, but the signal strength is increasing. We must be getting close." Zara nodded, a mix of excitement and trepidation coursing through her. This mission could change everything humanity thought it knew about its place in the universe. After centuries of searching the stars for signs of intelligent life, they might finally make first contact. Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. "Captain," called out Ensign Park from the sensor station. "Massive energy signature detected. Something's coming out of faster-than-light travel." Zara spun to face the main view screen just as a colossal ship materialized before them. It dwarfed the horizons, its sleek curves and shimmering hull unlike anything in Earth's fleet. Intricate patterns of light pulsed across its surface, mesmerizing in their complexity. "By all the stars," breathed Commander Aiden Frost, Zara's first officer. "It's beautiful." "And hopefully friendly," Zara added, her voice tight. "Shields up. Weapons on standby, but do not target. Let's not start an interstellar incident if we can help it." For several tense moments, the two ships hung in space, sizing each other up. Then, a beam of soft blue light enveloped the horizons. "We're being scanned," reported Park. "Our systems don't detect any harmful radiation, but they're definitely probing us." Zara squared her shoulders. "Open a channel, all frequencies. Let's introduce ourselves." Ramos worked his console, then nodded to the captain. Zara took a deep breath and spoke. "This is Captain Zara Chen of the United Earth Exploration Vessel Horizons. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and friendship among the stars. Please respond." Seconds ticked by with no answer. Zara was about to try again when a melodious voice filled the bridge, speaking in perfect English. "Greetings, humans of Earth. I am Sentinel Thalazin of the Viridian Empire. Your arrival was foreseen. Prepare to be brought aboard." Before Zara could respond, a shimmering field of energy surrounded the horizons. The starfield outside the viewport blurred, and suddenly they were inside a cavernous docking bay. The Viridian ship had somehow transported their entire vessel inside itself. "Well," Zara said, a wry smile tugging at her lips. "I guess we accept your invitation, Sentinel Thalazin." As the senior officers prepared for first contact, Zara couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The Viridians clearly possessed technology far beyond humanity's current capabilities. She only hoped Earth had something to offer in return, or this encounter could end very badly for her species. The air shimmered as a group of tall, ethereal beings materialized on the horizon's bridge. Their skin ranged from pale blue to deep indigo, with intricate bioluminescent patterns swirling beneath the surface. Large, multifaceted eyes regarded the humans with an unsettling intensity. Zara stepped forward, hand extended in what she hoped was a universal gesture of greeting. "Welcome aboard the Horizons. I'm Captain Chen." The lead Viridian, taller than the rest and adorned with elaborate silver markings, inclined its head. "I am Sentinel Thalazin. Your crude verbal language is inefficient, but we will accommodate your limitations for now." Zara's diplomatic smile faltered slightly at the condescending tone, but she pressed on. "We're honored to make your acquaintance. Humanity has long wondered if we were alone in the universe. Meeting you is a dream come true for our people." Thalazin's multifaceted eyes swirled with patterns of light. "Yes, we have observed your species' fumbling attempts to reach the stars. Your determination is admirable, if misguided. But now you have drawn the attention of powers beyond your comprehension. Commander Frost stepped up beside Zara, his posture tense. With all due respect, Sentinel, we may be less advanced technologically, but humanity has much to offer. We seek peaceful exchange of knowledge and culture. A ripple passed through the assembled Viridians, their skin flickering with bursts of color. Thalizin's voice took on a sharp edge. You presume much human. The Empress will decide your worth. For now, you will be brought to Viridia Prime for evaluation. Now wait just a minute, Zara began, but her words were cut off as the Viridians simply vanished, leaving the bridge crew staring at empty space. Ramos called out from his station, "Captain, we're moving. The Viridian ship has us in some kind of tractor beam. We're accelerating to faster-than-light velocities." Zara gripped the arms of her command chair as the stars outside blurred into streaks of light. "Status report. Any damage to our systems?" "Negative, Captain," replied Chief Engineer Lakshmi Patel over the comm. "Whatever field they're using, it's protecting us from the effects of FTL travel. Our engines are offline, but all other systems are functional." "Small favors," Zara muttered. She turned to her first officer. "Aiden, I want you coordinating with all department heads. We need to gather every scrap of data we can on the Viridians and their technology. If we're walking into the heart of their empire, we need every advantage we can get." Frost nodded grimly. "Aye, Captain. We'll show these aliens that humanity isn't to be underestimated." As her crew sprang into action, Zara stared at the swerving vortex of light outside the viewport. They were being pulled into a situation far beyond their control, but she was determined to prove humanity's worth. The fate of Earth might depend on it. Days passed in a blur of frenetic activity aboard the Horizons. The crew worked tirelessly to analyze every aspect of their encounter with the Viridians, from the composition of their hull to the subtle harmonics in their speech. Zara pushed herself and her people to the limit, knowing they needed every scrap of information to navigate the political minefield awaiting them. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of FTL travel, the Horizons shuddered as it dropped back into normal space. Zara rushed to the bridge, her heart pounding as she took in the sight before them. Viridia Prime hung in space like a jewel, its swirling atmosphere shot through with ribbons of ethereal light. Massive orbital structures surrounded the planet, some easily the size of small moons, and there, dominating the sky, was a construct that defied description, a vast crystalline megastructure that pulsed with energy. "My God," breathed Commander Frost as he joined Zara at the viewport. "It's like something out of a fever dream." Zara nodded, her mouth dry. "And we're about to dive right into the deep end. All hands, prepare for arrival. Let's show these Viridians what humanity is made of." As the Horizons was guided into a docking bay that could have housed Earth's entire space fleet, Zara steeled herself for the challenges ahead. First contact had been rocky, but now the real test began. The fate of two civilizations hung in the balance, and Captain Zara Chen was determined to forge a path to mutual understanding and respect, no matter the obstacles that lay ahead. The Empress's decree. The crystalline spires of the Viridian Imperial Palace stretched impossibly high, their iridescent surfaces refracting the alien sunlight into a dazzling array of colors. Captain Zara Chen and her senior officers stood in awe, their eyes struggling to process the sheer scale and otherworldly beauty of their surroundings. They had been escorted from the Horizons by a contingent of silent, shimmering Viridian guards, their movements fluid and unsettling in their grace. "Stay sharp," Zara murmured to her team as they approached the grand entrance. "Remember, we're not just representing ourselves here. The future of Earth depends on how we handle this." Commander Frost nodded, his hand instinctively reaching for the absent sidearm. Let's hope they're in a diplomatic mood. At the center of it all, seated upon a throne that pulsed with living energy, was Empress Silara. Her form was both beautiful and terrifying, a being of pure light and crystal, her features sharp and ever-changing. When she spoke, Her voice resonated through the very air itself. "Welcome, humans. We have watched your species with great interest. Now, at last, you stand before us." Zara stepped forward, bowing deeply. "Empress Silara, we are honored by your hospitality. We come seeking friendship and the exchange of knowledge between our peoples." The Empress's form shimmered, her expression unreadable. "Bold words, little one. But what do you truly offer? Your technology is primitive, your understanding of the cosmos laughably limited." Murmurs rippled through the assembled aliens, many clearly agreeing with the Empress's assessment. Zara felt a flash of anger, but kept her composure. This was the moment that would define humanity's place in the galaxy. "With respect, Your Majesty," Zara began, her voice steady. "What we lack in technological advancement, we make up for in other ways. Humanity's greatest strength is our adaptability, our ability to innovate and overcome seemingly insurmountable odds." The Empress leaned forward, intrigued. "Pretty words, but can you prove them?" Zara smiled, a plan forming. "If Your Majesty would indulge me, I'd like to propose a challenge. Give us any problem, any task you deem worthy, and we'll show you the true potential of humanity." The chamber fell silent, all eyes on the Empress. After a moment that felt like an eternity, she laughed, a sound like crystal chimes in the wind. "Very well, human. Your audacity amuses me. Here is your challenge. In one planetary rotation, you must create something that impresses me. Something that combines your primitive technology with the materials of our world. Fail, and your species will be deemed unworthy of further contact." Zara bowed again, her mind already racing. "We accept your challenge, Empress. Thank you for this opportunity." As the human delegation was led to their assigned quarters, Zara gathered her team. "All right, people. We've got one day to save Earth. Let's get to work." The next 24 hours were a blur of feverish activity. The humans worked tirelessly, combining their knowledge of Earth sciences with the exotic materials provided by the Viridians. They argued, brainstormed, and pushed themselves to the limit of their abilities. Finally, as the deadline approached, they stood before the Empress once more. Zara stepped forward, holding a small device in her hands. "Empress Silara, we present to you the fruits of our labor. This device combines our understanding of quantum entanglement with the unique properties of Viridian crystals. It allows for instantaneous communication across vast distances, unaffected by traditional barriers." She activated the device, and suddenly the air was filled with a three-dimensional projection of Earth, so realistic it seemed one could reach out and touch it. Gasps of surprise echoed through the chamber. "But that's not all," Zara continued. "This technology has applications far beyond simple communication. It could revolutionize everything from medical imaging to space exploration, and it was created through the cooperation of our two species." The Empress studied the device, her form shifting rapidly as she processed the implications. Finally, she spoke. "Impressive humans. You have indeed shown resourcefulness beyond your apparent limitations. Perhaps there is more to your species than we first assumed." Relief washed over Zara, but it was short-lived. The Empress's next words sent a shock through the entire human delegation. "In light of this demonstration, I have made a decision. To ensure the continued growth and cooperation between our peoples, a union must be formed. Captain Zara Chen, you have proven yourself worthy. You will marry my daughter, Princess Eloin, and become part of the imperial family." Stunned silence fell over the chamber. Zara's mind reeled, unable to process the magnitude of what had just been decreed. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. The Empress continued, her tone brooking no argument. "This union will solidify the alliance between Earth and the Viridian Empire. It is not a request, Captain. It is your destiny." As the implications of the Empress's words sank in, Zara realized that her actions had not only changed her own fate, but potentially the course of human history. The challenges ahead would test her in ways she could never have imagined. But as she looked around at the alien wonders surrounding her, A small part of her thrilled at the adventure to come. I am honored, Empress Sylara, Zara finally managed to say, her voice barely above a whisper. I accept this responsibility on behalf of Earth and humanity. As the chamber erupted into a cacophony of alien voices, Zara caught sight of a figure entering from a side passage. Princess Elowen, her future bride, regarded her with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Their eyes met across the vast chamber, and in that moment, Zara knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The next few hours passed in a whirlwind of activity. Zara found herself whisked away to private chambers, where a team of Viridian attendants began preparing her for the formal announcement of her engagement to Princess Elowen. As they draped her in shimmering fabrics that seemed to defy the laws of physics, Zara's mind raced. "Captain," Commander Frost's voice came through on a secure comm channel. "Are you all right? This is unprecedented." Zara took a deep breath, centering herself. "I'm fine, Aiden. It's not exactly how I imagined first contact going, but we have to play the hand we're dealt. How's the crew taking it?" "They're in shock, mostly, but also proud. You've single-handedly secured humanity's place among the stars." "Let's hope it's worth the price," Zara muttered. "Keep everyone focused. We're not out of the woods yet." As the attendants finished their work, Zara caught sight of herself in a mirror-like surface. The alien garments clung to her form, shifting colors with every movement. She hardly recognized herself. A soft chime announced a visitor. Zara turned to see Princess Elowen enter the chamber, dismissing the attendants with a graceful wave. The Viridian Royal was a vision of ethereal beauty, her form seeming to shimmer between solid and energy states. "So," Elowen said, her voice like music-given form, "you are to be my bride." Zara bowed awkwardly, unsure of the proper protocol. "Princess Elowen, I hope this arrangement isn't too distressing for you. I know it's not exactly traditional." Elowen's multifaceted eyes swirled with complex emotions. "Traditional? No, it is not. But perhaps that is what our empire needs. Your species has shown a remarkable ability to adapt, to see possibilities where we see only established patterns." She moved closer, studying Zara intently. "Tell me, Captain Chen, what do you hope to gain from this union?" Zara met the princess's gaze steadily. "Peace. Understanding between our peoples. And maybe, if we're lucky, a chance to explore the wonders of the universe together." Elowen was silent for a long moment, then nodded. "A noble goal. We shall see if it is attainable." She turned to leave, then paused. "A word of warning, Captain. Not all in the Empire will welcome this union. Be vigilant." As the princess departed, Zara felt the weight of responsibility settle even more heavily on her shoulders. She was no longer just a starship captain or even an ambassador for Earth. She was a symbol, a linchpin in the fragile alliance between two vastly different civilizations. The formal announcement of the engagement was a spectacle unlike anything Zara had ever experienced. The great hall of the Imperial Palace was filled with dignitaries from across the Viridian Empire and beyond. Holographic displays allowed countless others to witness the event from afar. As Zara stood beside Princess Elowen, listening to Empress Sylara proclaim the dawn of a new era of cooperation, she caught sight of movement in the shadows. A figure, cloaked and hidden, watched the proceedings with an intensity that sent a chill down her spine. The threat, it seemed, was already making itself known. Zara steeled herself for the challenges ahead, knowing that the fate of two worlds now rested on her shoulders. The adventure had only just begun. Trials of worthiness. The alien sun cast an eerie purple glow across the crystalline training grounds of the Imperial Palace. Captain Zara Chen, her human body glistening with sweat, faced off against a shimmering holographic opponent. The Viridian combat simulator had been pushing her to her limits for hours, testing not just her physical prowess, but her ability to adapt to utterly foreign fighting styles. "Enough," came the melodious voice of Princess Elowen. The hologram dissipated, leaving Zara panting and exhilarated. "You show promise, human. but the true trials are yet to come. Zara straightened, offering a respectful bow to her betrothed. Over the past weeks, she had begun to see beneath Eloan's cool exterior, glimpsing a keen intellect and dry wit that intrigued her. "I'm ready for whatever challenges your people can throw at me, princess." Eloan's multifaceted eyes swirled with amusement. Bold words. Let us hope they are not your last. As they exited the training grounds, Zara's comm unit chimed urgently. Commander Frost's voice came through, tense and low. "Captain, we've got a situation. You need to see this." Minutes later, Zara stood in a secure communications room aboard the Horizons, staring at a holographic display of intercepted Viridian transmissions. Her blood ran cold as she deciphered the meaning behind the complex data streams. "It's a coup," she breathed. "A faction within the Empire is planning to overthrow the Empress and scuttle the alliance with Earth." Frost nodded grimly. "Led by someone called the Shadow Weaver. Our linguistic algorithms are still working on translating the details, but it's clear they see you as a primary target." Zara's mind raced. "We need to warn the Empress. But carefully, we don't know how deep this conspiracy goes." "There's more," Frost added. "We've detected unusual energy signatures on the fringes of the Viridian system. Something big is coming, Captain." Before Zara could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Outside the viewport, the sky above Viridia Prime erupted in chaos. Massive ships, their designs unlike anything in the Imperial fleet, tore out of hyperspace. "It's happening," Zara realized. "The coup is now." She sprinted from the room, racing towards the Imperial Palace. The city around her was in pandemonium, Viridian citizens fleeing in terror as energy weapons lit up the sky. Zara's combat training kicked in as she dodged debris and helped fallen aliens to safety. Reaching the palace gates, she found them under heavy assault. Rebel forces, their armor adorned with swirling shadow patterns, pressed forward against the loyalist defenders. Zara's heart sank as she recognized some of the palace guards she had trained with among the attackers. "Captain Chen," a voice called out. Zara turned to see Sentinel Thalazin, the Viridian who had first contacted humanity, fighting off multiple assailants. "The Empress is in danger. We must reach the throne room." Zara didn't hesitate. She charged into the fray, her human reflexes and unorthodox fighting style catching the rebels off guard. Together with Thalazin, they carved a path through the chaos, racing deeper into the palace. They burst into the throne room to find a scene of devastation. Empress Sylara stood defiant, her form crackling with energy as she faced down a towering figure wreathed in living shadows. Princess Eloan lay unconscious nearby, a field of protective energy surrounding her. "Shadow Weaver," Thalazin hissed. "We're too late." The shadowy being turned, its featureless face somehow radiating malice. "Ah, the human pet arrives. Come to watch as I remake the Empire in my image." Zara's mind whirled, assessing the situation. The Shadow Weaver's power was immense, beyond anything she could hope to match in direct combat. But as she looked around the throne room, an idea began to form. "You know," Zara said, edging towards a control panel, "for all your power, you pure Viridians have a big weakness. You never look beyond the obvious." The Shadow Weaver laughed, a chilling sound. Bold words from a primitive creature. What could you possibly? Zara's hand slammed down on the panel. Suddenly, the throne room was filled with a cacophony of sound, a mix of Earth's greatest musical compositions blaring at full volume. The Shadow Weaver reeled back, its form destabilizing as the unexpected sensory input overwhelmed its defenses. "Now," Zara shouted. Empress Sylara, understanding immediately, unleashed a blast of pure energy. It struck the Shadow Weaver dead center, shattering its form into dissipating wisps of darkness. As the echoes of the music faded, Zara rushed to Eloan's side. The princess stirred, her eyes focusing on Zara with a mix of confusion and warmth. You saved us." "How?" Zara smiled, helping Eloan to her feet. Let's just say humanity has a few tricks up our sleeves. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the ones you least expect. Empress Silara approached, her form still crackling with residual energy. You have proven your worth 1,000 times over, Captain Chen. The Empire owes you a debt that can never be fully repaid. Zara bowed deeply. Your Majesty, the battle may be won, but the war is far from over. Those ships outside the planet, I don't think they're friendly. The Empress nodded gravely. Indeed, it seems the Shadow Weaver's reach extended beyond our borders. We face a threat unlike any the Empire has seen before. As if on cue, the palace shook with the impact of heavy weaponry. Through the grand windows, Zara could see the alien armada descending upon Viridia Prime. Beside her, Princess Eloan straightened, her expression hardening with resolve. Then we shall face it together, Eloan declared, taking Zara's hand in her own. Human and Viridian as one. Zara felt a surge of emotion, pride, determination, and something deeper she wasn't quite ready to name. As she looked out at the looming threat, she knew that the greatest challenge was yet to come. But for the first time since this wild adventure began, she felt truly confident in their chances. Together, Zara agreed, squeezing Eloan's hand. She tapped her comm unit. Commander Frost, prepare the horizons for battle. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity and the Viridian Empire can do when we work as one. As alarms blared and the palace mobilized for war, Zara allowed herself a small smile. Whatever came next, she was exactly where she needed to be, at the forefront of humanity's greatest adventure, ready to forge a future among the stars. Stardust Revolution. The skies above Viridia Prime blazed with the fury of interstellar war. Massive battleships, their hulls adorned with crackling void energy, rained destruction upon the crystalline cities below. The Nihil Armada, a coalition of species united in their hatred of the Viridian Empire, had launched an all-out assault. Captain Zara Chen stood on the bridge of the UESS Horizons, her eyes fixed on the tactical hologram floating before her. The ship shuddered as another barrage of enemy fire impacted their shields. Shields at 62% and falling, Captain. Lieutenant Rainbows called out, his fingers flying over his console. We can't take much more of this. Zara's mind raced, analyzing the seemingly hopeless situation. The Horizons, despite its upgrades with Viridian tech, was grossly outmatched against the Nihil fleet. But they had one advantage the enemy couldn't anticipate: human ingenuity. Eloan, Zara said, turning to the Viridian princess at her side, you said your people have experimented with quantum entanglement, right? Eloan's multifaceted eyes swirled with curiosity. Yes, but only on a small scale. Why? A fierce grin spread across Zara's face. Because we're about to attempt the biggest quantum leap in history. Lakshmi, she called to her chief engineer. Remember that crazy idea we discussed after one too many synthenols? Chief Engineer Patel's eyes widened. The Stardust Gambit. But Captain, that's pure theoretical physics. We've never even simulated it. No time like the present, Zara replied. Divert all non-essential power to the main deflector. We're going to quantum entangle the entire Nihil fleet. As her crew scrambled to enact her audacious plan, Zara turned to Eloan. I need you to contact your mother. Tell her to prepare the Imperial fleet for a coordinated attack the moment our gambit succeeds. Eloan nodded, her expression a mix of admiration and concern. Zara, if this doesn't work. It will, Zara said firmly, taking Eloan's hand. Trust me. The next few minutes were a blur of frantic activity. The Horizon systems groaned under the strain as they reconfigured the main deflector to generate a massive quantum field. Outside, the Nihil fleet pressed their attack, sensing victory within their grasp. Field charged to maximum capacity, Patel shouted. It's now or never, Captain. Zara took a deep breath. Initiate Stardust Protocol. Now. A blinding pulse of energy erupted from the horizons, engulfing the entire Nihil Armada in a shimmering quantum field. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, chaos erupted. The Nile ships began to phase in and out of reality, their positions becoming quantumly entangled. Weapons fire meant for the Viridian defenders instead struck their own allies. Coordinated attack patterns dissolved into confusion. It worked. Commander Frost exclaimed, disbelief evident in his voice. The entire enemy fleet is in disarray. Zara allowed herself a moment of exultation before snapping back into action. Signal the Imperial fleet. All ships, concentrate fire on the Nile flagship. Let's end this. What followed was a battle that would be remembered in the annals of galactic history for centuries to come. The combined might of humanity and the Viridian Empire, united in purpose, tore through the disrupted Nile forces. Within hours, the once mighty armada was reduced to scattered remnants fleeing into deep space. As the last enemy ships disappeared from sensors, a deafening cheer erupted across the horizon's bridge. Zara found herself swept up in an embrace by Princess Elowen, the normally reserved Viridian overcome with emotion. "You did it," Elowen breathed, her eyes shimmering with an array of colors Zara had never seen before. "You saved us all." Before Zara could respond, a comm channel crackled to life. Empress Solara's voice, filled with a warmth that belied her usual aloofness, echoed through the bridge. "Captain Chen, you have proven yourself beyond any doubt. Your tactics, your courage, your humanity have turned the tide of a war we feared was lost. The Viridian Empire owes you a debt that can never be fully repaid." Zara straightened, suddenly aware of all eyes upon her. "Thank you, Your Majesty. But this victory belongs to all of us, human and Viridian alike. Together, we've shown that the bonds between our people are stronger than any force that seeks to divide us." As the reality of their victory sank in, Zara gazed out at the star-filled expanse beyond the viewport. The battle was won, but she knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had taken its first true steps onto the galactic stage, and the adventures ahead were limitless. Elowen's hand found hers, their fingers intertwining. "So, my betrothed," the princess said, a hint of playfulness in her tone, "what impossible feat shall we accomplish next?" Zara grinned, feeling a surge of excitement for the future they would forge together. "Oh, I have a few ideas. But first, I think we've earned a moment to catch our breath. How about we find out if Viridians and humans can share a celebratory drink?" As laughter filled the bridge, Zara knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them united. The Stardust Revolution had ushered in a new era of interstellar cooperation, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Cosmic harmony. The grand amphitheater of New Axiom City hummed with anticipation. Beings from 1,000 worlds filled the crystalline seats, their diverse forms a testament to the new era of galactic cooperation. At the center of it all stood Captain Zara Chen and Princess Elowen, their hands joined as they faced the assembled multitude. 5 years had passed since the Stardust Revolution, and the alliance between Earth and the Viridian Empire had ushered in an unprecedented age of exploration and discovery. Today marked the unveiling of their greatest achievement yet, the Harmony Nexus. Empress Solara's voice rang out, amplified by technology that merged Viridian crystal resonance with Earth's quantum acoustics. "Esteemed beings of the cosmos, we stand at the dawn of a new age. The Harmony Nexus represents the pinnacle of our united knowledge and the promise of a future without boundaries." Zara stepped forward, her nervousness hidden behind years of diplomatic training. "What you are about to witness is more than a technological marvel. It is a bridge between realities, a gateway to understanding the very fabric of existence itself." With a nod to Elowen, they both placed their hands on a shimmering control panel. The air above the amphitheater began to ripple and twist, colors beyond the visible spectrum dancing in mesmerizing patterns. Suddenly, a massive portal burst into existence, its swirling vortex a window into another universe entirely. Gasps of awe echoed through the crowd as the first images came into focus. Alien landscapes of impossible beauty, Worlds where the laws of physics seemed to operate on entirely different principles. But it was more than just a window. The harmony nexus allowed for true interaction between realities. A figure stepped through the portal, its form constantly shifting and changing. The Protean ambassador, as it called itself, was the first emissary from a universe beyond their own. Its voice, when it spoke, seemed to resonate directly in the minds of all present. Greetings, beings of solidity. We have long awaited this moment of connection. There is much we can learn from each other. As the implications of this moment sank in, Zara felt a surge of pride and wonder. This was why she had joined the Exploration Corps, why she had embraced her role in the Varadian Empire. The thrill of discovery, the chance to push the boundaries of what was possible, it was intoxicating. Elowen squeezed her hand, a private moment amidst the public spectacle. "You seem lost in thought, my love," the princess murmured. Zara smiled, her eyes never leaving the swirling portal. "Just thinking about how far we've come. From first contact to this, it's almost too much to comprehend." Their moment was interrupted by a commotion near the edge of the amphitheater. A group of beings, their forms obscured by shimmering cloaks, pushed their way through the crowd. Zara tensed, years of combat experience kicking in as she sensed the potential threat. "Abomination," one of the cloaked figures cried out. "You meddle with forces beyond your understanding. The barriers between worlds must not be breached." Before security could react, the group revealed strange devices that pulsed with coruscating energy. The air around them began to warp and twist, reality itself seeming to fray at the edges. "Reality weavers," Elowen gasped, "an extremist sect that believes in maintaining the purity of individual universes. We thought they were merely a myth." Zara's mind raced, assessing the situation. The Reality Weaver's devices were clearly designed to destabilize the harmony nexus, potentially with catastrophic consequences. But she also recognized the fear behind their actions, fear of the unknown, of change on a cosmic scale. In that moment of clarity, Zara made a decision that would once again alter the course of history. Instead of calling for security or attempting to subdue the extremists, she stepped forward, her hands raised in a gesture of peace. "Wait," she called out, her voice carrying across the amphitheater. "I understand your fear. The unknown can be terrifying, especially when it challenges everything we thought we knew about reality." The Reality Weavers hesitated, caught off guard by this unexpected approach. Zara pressed on, her words filled with the passion that had driven her across the stars. "But consider this, every great advancement in history has come from pushing boundaries, from daring to question what we thought was impossible. The Harmony Nexus isn't about destroying the uniqueness of our universes. It's about celebrating that diversity, about learning from each other in ways we never imagined possible." She gestured to the Protean ambassador, still standing serenely by the portal. "Look at the wonders already revealed to us. Imagine the challenges we could solve together, the mysteries we could unravel. Are we really so arrogant as to believe that our single universe holds all the answers?" The lead Reality Weaver lowered his device, his voice wavering with uncertainty. "But the risks are always present in any great endeavor," Zara finished. "But so are the rewards. I'm asking you to take a leap of faith. Join us in this journey of discovery. Help us ensure that the Harmony Nexus is used responsibly, that we approach these new frontiers with wisdom and caution." A tense silence fell over the amphitheater. Then, slowly, the Reality Weavers deactivated their devices. The lead figure stepped forward, pulling back his hood to reveal a face of swerving energy. "Your words, they resonate with truths we had forgotten in our zeal," he said. Perhaps there is wisdom in this path after all." As the crisis diffused, a wave of relief washed over the crowd. Empress Silara approached, her expression a mix of pride and amusement. "Once again, Captain Chen, you prove that humanity's greatest strength lies not in technology, but in your capacity for understanding and empathy." Zara bowed slightly, a wry smile on her lips. Just doing my part to maintain cosmic harmony, Your Majesty. As the ceremony resumed, the harmony nexus pulsing with newfound energy, Zara gazed out at the assembled beings from across realities. She thought of the long journey that had brought her here, from a curious explorer to a bridge between worlds. Elowen's hand found hers once more, their fingers intertwining in a gesture that transcended species. "So, my beloved," the princess said, her eyes sparkling with mischief and adventure, "what impossible dream shall we chase next?" Zora laughed, her heart full of love and wonder for the infinite possibilities that stretched out before them. "Oh, I have a few ideas. But first, I think it's time we took that honeymoon we've been putting off. I hear the sunset on the crystalline beaches of Andromeda Prime is quite spectacular this time of year." As they turned to face the cheering crowd, Zara knew that this was just the beginning. The cosmos was vast and full of mysteries, but with understanding, courage, and a touch of human ingenuity, there was no challenge they couldn't overcome. The adventure of a lifetime stretched out before them, written in the stardust of infinite realities.